Alrighty, y'all. Hello and happy Monday. I am gonna be honest, this is my fourth time trying to record this video, so I am like fingers crossed right now, hoping that this goes through because I have now read these like 10 couple pages, 10 minutes worth of reading about 4 times. And not only that, I lost my spot the last time when I put the book down out of frustration. So, bear with me here. I am going to give this another shot. I'm going to try to make it a short video, probably cut it off around 6 minutes, just because what keeps happening is it gets there, I get to like 7, 8, 9 minutes, and then all of a sudden it stops. So, bear with me, this one might be shorter until I figure out what's going on with my computer. Alrighty, so we were at the part of the story where Ron was trying to put a curse on Malfoy, and it backfired because his wand is broken. So now he has slugs coming out of his mouth. Alright. What happened, Harry? What happened? Is he ill? But you can cure him, can't you? Colin had run down from his seat and was now dancing alongside them as they left the pitch. Ron gave a huge heave, and more slugs dribbled down his front. Ooh, said Colin, fascinated and raising his camera. Can you hold him still, Harry? Get out of the way, Colin, said Harry angrily. He and Hermione supported Ron out of the stadium and across the grounds towards the edge of the forest. Nearly there, Ron, said Hermione as the gamekeeper's cabin came to view. You'll be all right in a minute. Almost there. They were within 20 feet of Hagrid's house when the front door opened, but it wasn't Hagrid who emerged. Gilderoy Lockhart, wearing robes of palest mauve today, came striding out. Quick, behind here, Harry hissed, dragging Ron behind a nearby bush. Hermione followed, somewhat reluctantly. It's a simple matter if you know what you're doing, Lockhart was saying loudly to Hagrid, and if you need help, you know where I am. I'll let you have a copy of my book. I am surprised you haven't already got one. I'll sign one tonight and send it over. Well, goodbye. And he strode away towards the castle. Harry waited until Lockhart was out of sight and then pulled Ron out of the bush and up to Hagrid's front door. They knocked urgently. Hagrid appeared at once, looking very grumpy, but his expression brightened when he saw who it was. Been wondering when you'd come to see me. Come in, come in. Thought you might have been Professor Lockhart again. Harry and Hermione supported Ron over the threshold into the one-roomed cabin, which had an enormous bed in one corner, a fire crackling merrily in another. Hagrid didn't seem perturbed by Ron's slug problem, which Harry hastily explained as he lowered Ron into a chair. Better out than in, he said cheerfully, plonking a large copper basin in front of him. Get 'em all up, Ron. I don't think there's anything to do except wait for it to stop, said Hermione anxiously, watching Ron bend over the basin. That's a difficult curse to work at the best of times, but with a broken wand. This is a pretty neat page. I'm hoping I have it all centered. Slugs in every corner. Some slug trails. Gross. Hagrid was bustling around, making them tea. His boarhound, Fang, was slobbering over Harry. What did Lockhart want with you, Hagrid? Harry asked, scratching Fang's ears. Giving me advice on some kelpies out of a well, growled Hagrid, moving a half-plucked rooster off his scrubbed table and setting down the teapot. Like I don't know, and banging on about some banshee he banished. If one word of it was true, I'll eat my kettle. It was most unlike Hagrid to criticize a Hogwarts teacher, and Harry looked at him in surprise. Hermione, however, said in a voice somewhat higher than usual, I think you're being a bit unfair. Professor Dumbledore obviously thought he was the best man for the job. He was the only man for the job, said Hagrid, offering them a plate of toffee while Ron coughed squelchily into his basin. And I mean the only one. Getting very difficult to find anyone for the dark arts job. People aren't too keen to take it on, you see. They're starting to think it's jinxed. No one's lasted for a long while. So tell me, said Hagrid, jerking his head at Ron, who was he trying to curse? Malfoy called Hermione something, and it must have been really bad, because everyone went mad. It was bad, said Ron hoarsely, emerging over the tabletop, looking pale and sweaty. Malfoy called her Mudblood, Hagrid. Ron dived out of sight again as a fresh wave of slugs made their appearance. Hagrid looked outraged. He didn't, he growled at Hermione. He did, she said. But I don't know what it means. I could tell it was really rude, of course. It's about the most insulting thing he could think of, gasped Ron, coming back up. Mudblood's a really foul name for someone who was Muggle-born. You know, non-magic family. Non-magic parents. There are some wizards, like Malfoy's family, who think that they're better than everyone else because they're what people call pure blood. He gave a small burp, and a single slug fell into his outstretched hand. He threw it into the basin and continued, I mean, the rest of us know it doesn't make any difference at all. Look at Neville Longbottom. He's pure blood, and he can hardly stand a cauldron up the right way. And they haven't invented a spell Hermione can't do, said Hagrid proudly, making Hermione go a brilliant shade of magenta. It's a disgusting thing to call someone, said Ron, wiping his sweaty brow with a shaking hand. Dirty blood. See? Come on. Come on, blood, it's mad. Most wizards these days are half-blood anyways. If we hadn't married muggles, we'd have died out. He retched and ducked again out of sight. Well, I don't blame you for trying to curse him, Ron, said Hagrid loudly over the thuds of more slugs hitting the basin. But maybe it was a good thing your wand backfired. I suspect Lucius Malfoy would come marching up to school and have school if you'd have cursed his son. Least you're not in trouble. Harry would have pointed out that trouble didn't come much worse than having slugs pour out of your mouth, but he couldn't. Hagrid's toffee had cemented his jaws together. So we're going to end it just a little bit short right now because I'm nervous that the video's going to not upload. All right? So I will see you again tomorrow morning. Have a lovely Monday.